Hey guys, Stand Maniacs here. I've been thinking a lot about what I want this channel to be, and honestly, I still have no idea. So any ideas are more than welcome, and please comment them below. But I realized I now have 18,000 subscribers on here, and it's growing. And not many of you will watch, but those who do, I want to have some sort of positive influence on, or at least have some sort of positive message I can promote. And I still want to do silly videos, and I still want to make MVs and maybe have some commentary videos, maybe some review. I don't know. But I also realized none of you know anything about me except for like the five of you that I know personally. So love y'all. But uh, I think I should tell y'all a bit about myself. And I thought a good idea for a video would be to tell everyone why I think it's so important to celebrate when someone comes out of the closet. And it's a very personal matter to me. And so I want to tell y'all something about me that lets you know who a bit of who I am and my values. And then maybe that'll mean something to you. Maybe that'll encourage you. Maybe, I don't know. But I think it's a start. So we'll try it. So I was in sixth grade when I first started questioning my sexuality. Well, that's not the right term. I didn't question it. I was just really confused by it. I met a guy at orientation to my school, and I was like, "Oh, why do I feel butterflies in my stomach? That's so weird." So I didn't question that. I was just like, "Nope, it's nothing. I'm straight. I love women. They're great." And they are. I stand by that. They are great. I still love them. But we'll get to that in a minute. And at first, I didn't think anything of it too heavily. I thought it was strange, but I knew I had crushes on women, so I just kind of counted it out. And for a while, and I mean for like a while, for like many years, I'd tell this to several of my friends, to even my mom. I'd be like, I wish I was bi, or at least pan or something, because then I could have more options of people I could like. Then I want to just be stuck to women, and I could have guys. I could have anyone, and that was a great hope for me, I guess, I suppose. But that didn't work out because I was like, but I'm straight. It's a darn shame. Some of y'all might see where this is going. So fast forward to probably ninth grade, right when the pandemic began. So about 2020. Um, I started coming to more terms with it, and I was talking to a friend of mine who was bisexual, and she helped me out a lot with it, and we talked through it, and it kind of made me realize more of who I was as a person and what that meant to me. And it was strange because it was like this part of me that I had held inside for so long and I never quite realized was a part of me. And so I always had hid it or I shut it down because there's so much hate and there's so much discrimination, and it's so easy to just fall into a group of people that are actively anti something and not realize that it's keeping you down and away from that something. I mean, I've experienced my fair share of anti Semitism and now homophobia, but, it was what it was. And so we talked, and I realized, oh, those feelings for the guy and all these things are not something that most heterosexual people deal with just because they don't. I mean, I didn't know that, right? Because the only thing I've ever known is what I am, and I can't know what I'm not. So I just assumed everyone experiences that, or everyone has like slight confusion points where they think they're into guys. I talked to my dad about it at one point, who leans on the side of homophobia to an extent at moments, not intentionally, just misunderstanding, which is very common in my family. My brothers are very supportive, but it's a very popular thing in most society too, is just not understanding what something is, and then as a result, judging it or unfairly treating it, and not quite being anti it, but definitely not supporting it the way it needs to be because of the amount of people that are anti it. But so I talked to that girl, and we figured it out. And then I still think this is the funniest thing. We started dating. So not anymore. We're broken up, but I like to tell people, or I did, that I came out as gay, and then we started dating, and I don't know. I thought that was really funny. Um, so then I realized I was bisexual, and that was a really hard moment for me. Not because I had any sort of homophobia. It was just more of being myself for so long and not knowing who that was. Which again, it ties back to why I think it's so important that we celebrate when people come out. It's because it's so difficult, and it feels like it should be the easiest thing, right? Like you're born, and then you should have these feelings, and you should know what these feelings are, and it should be easy to just have those feelings. You shouldn't even need to tell anyone. They are what they are. But it's so ingrained societally that you're straight until proven not, that it's so easy to just think you are. For, 16, 15 years of my life, I just thought I liked women, and that was it. And I wouldn't even fathom the possibility that maybe I could like more than one gender. Maybe I like two, maybe I like this person and I didn't like that. And it was confusing for me. I had a guy ask me out in sixth grade, and I said no because I said I wasn't into that. And looking back on it, I realized I wasn't into him. But I didn't know that. And so I use that as an example of why no, I couldn't be gay. That couldn't be possible because how could I be gay and also not like the guy that asked me out? And so it's just hard to realize who you are as a person. And then when you do, it's so exciting. It's like discovering almost what you want your career and life to be, who you want to be as a person, what morals you want to follow. Something so true to yourself, so what it is to be human, that you just want to share it with people. And some people don't, and that's completely fine. But some people do, and they share it with the ones they love and the ones they trust. That's why people come out. That's why you need to celebrate them, because they're putting themselves out there, knowing that there is a large population in the world that actively hates their existence, that a lot of people in the world actively want them to go to hell, which is at a place of infinite torment and constant punishment, according to the Bible. I mean, it's scary, and it is an act of pure trust and pure love to be willing to put yourself out there, and that is everything. And then it's even scarier because it's not one and done. It's something you have to do every single time you meet someone and start to trust them, and you feel you need to tell them. It's scary, and it's a miraculous thing, and it's part of the human experience, and it's really beautiful. And this year, I started questioning more of my personal gender and my pronouns because I had thought about that for a while too. But again, it was okay, so I'm bi, I like men, I like women. There's no way I can also not have the pronouns I was assigned at birth. And that was weird to me, and that was scary to me. Then I met some more people, which also, on a side note, the community is so important that everyone supports each other with allies, trans, bi, pan, queer, anything, everything. It's so important that we support each other and that even if you are not in the community, you actively support it because there's so much hate even within it. It's absurd. And it's just, it goes back to the problem at hand. And again, we just need to love each other more and love each other as we are because it's who we are and it's nothing you control. It's just how you're born. But so I was questioning my gender identity for a while when I met them, and they really helped me out because it showed me another option, right? Like I'd met several transgender men and women at that point, but I hadn't met anyone who was neither, who wasn't on this binary that we put gender on as a society, which science has already disproved, which is the most frustrating thing I think about this whole thing, is science has shown us time and time again that gender is not narrowed down to two options, and that chemicals and hormones and mentally and psychologically, and that these things are not one and done or two and done. And it's that there's this whole spectrum of possibilities, and humans are so unique in nature, and animals are so unique in nature, that they're capable of more than just these archaic terms that we came up with years ago, and like literal centuries, if not millennia ago. Because, of course, they're not going to fit everyone. It's physically impossible to. So I started looking into that, and I started realizing I don't feel overly masculine. I don't feel overly feminine. I don't feel a pull to one. I mean, it was a strange experience for me. And so for a while I questioned that. I love grilling. It's one of my favorite activities, but grilling is a predominantly male-centered idea when it comes to popular culture. It's not. It takes no difference between genders to grill a hamburger. But that's what it was. And so for a while I questioned if I even love grilling or if I liked grilling because I thought that was the masculine thing to do. I love grilling because it's fun. But so that was hard to realize. And so again, when I did and I realized I'm not a guy and I'm not a girl, I'm them, or an own entity that isn't really assigned one of those, it was a miraculous thing, and I was excited, and I didn't share this one as quickly. I actually regretted coming out to so many people that I did when I came out the first time as bi. But I came out to those I trusted, and I came out to others like me, and they helped me realize I wasn't alone in that, and that they've experienced dysphoria, and they've had their own issues dealing with it. And it was so helpful, and it felt so less alone, because it's so easy to feel like these things are only you and that no one else has ever experienced it. And honestly, that's the biggest reason I'm making this. I don't want anyone to experience that. I don't want anyone to feel like they don't know who they are as a person. And it's natural not to. It's not like you're going to figure it out in the first 20, 25 years of your life. But it's good to have these base blocks that can change and will change and should never be sedimentary. But it's good to know a basic idea of who you feel you are, so you know how you want to be in the future and who you want to be. I've changed a ton over the past couple years and what that means and who I want to be in the end, but I want to be true to myself, and I know these are who I am right now. And so it's important to me that I come out to those I love so that they get to know the real me too. It's not fair to them to not know. And I'm not saying that as in you should come out if you're not ready. I'm saying that as in it's important for me personally, and it will be important for you, for those you love, to come out to them when you feel safe and feel like you can and feel like you have an idea. And even if you do have an idea and you're like, oop, I was wrong, change it. It's up to you. No one can tell you who you are but you. And so I think we just need to spread a little more love, be a little more open, and celebrate people coming out when they finally realize it. It's what it is to be human. Bye, y'all. Fun fact, dogs don't care if you're queer, and that's pretty cool. So Georgia has just introduced and is very close to, if not already passing, the Don't Say Gay bill, which, if it goes through, is going to lead to a huge jump in suicide rates and is going to wreak devastation, because it is so integral to the queer community that we have the ability to talk about these things in schools, because this is some of these kids' only source of knowledge on this subject. And if you take this away, you take away a large portion of what made these kids feel safe, comfortable, and accepted anywhere in their lives. So link in the description below to sign a petition to axe this before this even takes off. National Hotline for suicide prevention is also going to be down there. And yeah, please check it out.